here and they compare of this meeting today. So before our presentation, firstly I will introduce our team members. My name is Betty. This is our director, Ms. Cameron.
Hello everyone. Welcome.
This is our team members. Melody, welcome you to come here.
Hi, this is Alan. So nice to meet you guys.
Hello, this is Kevin. Welcome.
Hello, this is Jerry.
Hello, this is Roger. Good afternoon.
Hello, this is Nathan. Welcome.
Hello, my friend. This is Lawrence.
Hello. Thank you very much for your joining our presentation. Okay, so I'm very glad today I'm the compare of this online presentation. Thanks for all our radio customers for attending our today's meeting. For myself, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Betty. I'm in charge of the Southeast Asian market. I work for perlove more than 5 years. I really love our perlove brand and this job because we could provide high technology imaging device to help more and more patients and doctors worldwide. And that's why we install hundreds of unique machines every year in Asian market and the European market, including the Philippines, Thailand, Indonesia, Mongolia, Laos, and even European countries, and so on. Also, I'm glad to see that we have many installation references in Southeast Asian market. So here, I warmly welcome. Firstly, is our reference site of big X machines in Philippines. Warmly welcome, Dr. S. Landlord. This reference site is at Landlord Hospital in Central Manila. Dr. S. He is not only the owner of 2 hospitals, but he is also the doctor of Association of Philippines Hospitals. Second, we warmly welcome to Mr. Nada. Mr. Nada, she has more than 11 clinics in Philippines. Second, warmly welcome Dr. Stella. Dr. Stella is the president High Society, radiologist, technologist. Also warmly welcome our other weather customers and the wedding customers in Asian market. Welcome. So you just saw all our team members in Asian market. Today, our presentation will be divided in 3 parts. First part is our showroom display. You know our perlove method. It is professional and comprehensive manufacturing, only focused for extra machines. The big point we compare to other brands. We will update speed for new technology. That's why every year we have lots of new launch models. So in this showroom, our colleague Ms. Lauren will give shoot for our technology extra machines and our popular machines. The second part is the presentation of our digital motion X-ray machines. And this part is for myself, Betty, will give the introduction. And you see, for the digital motion X-ray machines, it has multi-function and cost-effective, which could give the high ROI for hospitals. Also, fast imaging and only takes a few seconds. Besides, it has lower radiation compared to the fluoroscopy. Besides that, it has the convenient one-type image by the staging or on the table. So let's go. We will So for the first part, our colleague, Miss Lawrence, will give the showroom display. So let's go.
Hello. Can you hear me clearly, my friend? Okay, you can type in the chat room. Can you hear me clearly? Yes, you can't use the voice at the moment, but you can type in the chat room. Okay, thanks, Betty. This is Lawrence, and I'm the sales manager for the Cambodia market and the West Vietnam market. But today, all of you are my friends, and you are warmly welcome by our Perlove Medical. As you know, we Perlove Medical has multiple product lines such as CR, GR, and GR system. Now, another subsidiary is to have belief. They manage GRX system and big GR. And here, headquarters in Nanjing, we manage to CR system, UR, and multi GR. So, at first, we will have a look at our CR family. In the past 15 years, we are always occupying the #1 market share in domestic market. And after about 20 years of development, we have more than 10 models in CR family, including RR CR system, FPT CR system, and also 3D CR LPD system. And here is our new launch 3D LPD CR. The CRX 7500, and just launched at last year. For 3D, there are only 2 manufacturers who possess this technology, and we are the first one. For 3D technology, you can see at the workstation with a 34-inch LCD screen, you can find the 3D dimension image and clearly and delicate. So, doctors, you don't need to surgery as before to control the power and depth by your experience, because you have eyes help you find the delicate image in 3 dimensions. And it is also equipped another 27-inch screen on the machine, as well as a touch LCD screen. You can input the parameter and select the body position and select some model to do the surgery. And as you can see, it is equipped a larger LCD with 12-inch by 12-inch, so you can get a larger field to avoid some misdiagnosis. And nearby to is 2 division machine. And maybe you think it looks just like the same, but if you look carefully, you will find the FPD is much larger than this one, and it's 12-inch by 12-inch, and this one is 9-inch by 9-inch. And for this model, it just needs 1 square meter. It's 1 square meter and can be moved easily, even by a nurse. And as you can see, this screen can be rotated at a large angle, so the doctor don't need move back and forth to observe the delicate image. And we designed a combined generation and X-ray tube, which can be rotated at the top position to protect the doctors with lower radiation dose. And the next part here is our mobile GR room. So for our during the COVID-19 period, we can't visit each other easily as before. So our exhibition room is playing a vital important role to display our power as a profession to our clients from all over the world. So maybe in the future, with their master have chance, we invite you to come here to our talk to have a look. Here is our radiation chamber, and here and next here we will show our mobile here. During the COVID-19 period, we have delivered more than 1,000 sets mobile GR systems to all over the world, such as in Nepal, we have installed at least 10 units, and in Philippines, we installed at least 65 units, and in Pakistan, we have more than 200 units. And so they are served as a superstars to fight the COVID-19. And today I will introduce the next one. CLX 538 and with output of 50 kilowatts, which is not so much kilowatts at the moment at the top level. And it is just 14 inch by 17 inch wireless detector. You get the large field conjunctive image for the doctor, and it also adopts super evaluation light power supply to ensure stable radiation, and it can be charged within only 20 minutes. So next part, I will introduce you about our DRF system. So doctors, is there anyone who can tell me what's DRF system? Yes, DRF system is all-in-one multiple function, and which can do both radio warfare and fluoroscopy with only one dynamic detector, and it can be switched by 1 second between the static and the dynamic mode, and our frame can be up to 30 frames per second, so you can get a smooth and delicate the large image, sharp image. So for this one, is the most advanced VR company named TRX 9600A. That is also previously in Zhuhai Police. And today I want to show you about the flexible diagnostic table. So I would like to invite my colleague Lawson to come in to demonstrate it for you. You're welcome, Lawson. Okay, as you can see, we can adjust this table. Adjust at least 65 centimeters distance the floor, so that even though the elder and children and some patients were not easy to move and get down the table easily. And it can also lift up according to the doctor's needs, such as some tall doctors. And also, it can be rotated, the table can be rotated by positive and negative 90 degrees. As you can see. So when it's at positive 90 degree, we can stretch the SID at the 1.8 meter, and I will let our engineer to have me to encourage about the workstation. The SID in this position, the SID meters to the international standard of land checking, such as numerous optics and okay, you can have a look. And next, I will show you when we can also I will show you we can also rotate it by negative 90 degrees. Check this within 1 minute. It is a little bit to protect the patient without first. At the negative 90 degrees, we can control the speed and direction of the contracted agent when you get the renal examination. Okay, let's have a look. With the help of a compressor. Okay, thank you, Lasse. Thank you for your help. And all above is our demonstration for our exhibition room and our machines. So thank you all for your time. And next class, let's welcome my colleague Betty to do a presentation about our new launched digital dynamic DR system PLD 7900. Okay, let's welcome Betty.
Hello, everybody. Could you hear me? Hello, it is glad to see you again. This is Betty. Okay, thanks for our colleague, Mr. Lawrence, about the introduction of our high-end machines in our showroom. And I believe some of you should be interested in the high-end models. So no problem. After our meeting, our colleague or me, we will send you more details about each model if you need. So before, just right now in our showroom, there are so many people and they are so noisy. So we move to our meeting room. Let's for the second part, Betty will give you the presentation for our the second part. Online presentation for our new launch digital motion X machine. This is the model is called PLD 7900 digital motion X-ray. So firstly, we just see. So our presentation is firstly it is the description. Second, it is why choose the digital motion for these models. And firstly, let's see to the process of development and renew. We knew for the X machines development in medical industry. We know at the beginning is this system that more and more people dynamic X-ray machine that I think many of our customers know. In our perlove these static X-ray machines will be replaced by the dynamic X-ray machine. Today you see our company before has this static X-ray machine and the DRX and DRS system. You see okay, but we see many hospitals has the radiography department is very important. So these radiography machines play very important role. But the main problem it is the purchasing cost and the budget is limited. So that's why our company also has a new launched models. It calls digital motion X-ray. This model we just mentioned, it is the cost-effective model. We call one very good name. It is high-end configuration, but with cost-effective. So we can see this model, these pictures for our new launch. This model, digital motion X-ray. We see these three types. One is U-arm type, and then is floor mounted with fixed table, also the lifting table. So we go ahead. Today, this presentation for these new launch models will be divided three parts. Firstly is the description. Second, it is advantage of this new series. And the last part, why choose digital motion X-ray. I know everybody here, maybe you have many questions during our presentation. No problem. So anyway, firstly, we just set the silence your side. Please don't worry. After our introduction, me and my colleague, Mr. Melody, will take care of the third part, the QA section. So you could ask the question about our machines. So we go ahead. The first part, the description. So maybe you have a question. What is digital motion X-ray system? Now we explain. This means this X-ray system with the dynamic flat panel detector, capable of digital radiography, fluoroscopy, also digital angiography, which could enable the doctors to observe the dynamic motion of the anatomic structures over time. So it could be used many applications, and including the conventional digital radiography, fluoroscopy, also for the large-sized chest examination, also for some parts of angiography. So it could be used a wider range of the application. You can see, it could be used for radiography to see the clinical pictures and video. Firstly, it could be used for radiography center and the health examination center, and also some orthopedic and trauma, also for the angiography, the GI imaging, the gynecology department. So we see this is for the clinical imaging of the saphenography. So we go ahead. For these new launch models, we have cost-effective 12 different configurations with the high-end high-end main parts. We could see for the type has U-arm floor mounted with fixed table and lifting table. Also for the dynamic flat panel detector, we also have different micros for choice. Also for the machine, also could be equipped single dynamic detector or dual detector, double detectors. And also for the X-ray tube, we could choose the Kenner, bronze, or Chinese X-ray tube. So just you need, and just we have more than 12 different models for your choice regarding for this new launch digital motion X-ray. Let's we go ahead to the next step. This is for the 12 different configurations. Okay, now we move to the second part. It is advantage. So you have question, what's the advantage of the digital motion X-ray compared to other machines? We know for one digital machines, the main part is very important. And firstly is the X-ray generator. We know the X-ray generator is like the car. It is heart of the X-ray machine. It is very important. And firstly, this very important main part. It is our 100% our development, our developed and research part. So firstly, we could make sure long-term part supply with the very low maintenance cost. Second, you see the very big point for the parameters. We have to last the 50 kilowatt and 65 kilowatt for your choice, and which means these large parameters could allow the last kilowatts and milliampere. So could use the first last pacing range. Also could get the good penetrability of the X-ray. Then we go ahead to the high frequency. It is 500 kilohertz, which means it could guarantee the high quality X-ray source. And the big difference why we mention this very important spare part, the generator, because you just see we have DRF system. This is compared for this generator of this digital X-ray machine was developed from our high-end DRF system, but not from the static X-ray. So we have very big points for the parameters. We have the continuous fluoroscopy model. Some other brands, maybe the digital motion X-ray was developed for the static X-ray. So some of them don't have the continuous fluoroscopy modes. Besides, we also have the good pulse fluoroscopy mode. We have the big milliampere. Foremost for the dynamic machine, it could start from the 5 milliampere for the fluoroscopy mode. So which could get the low dose, also could get sharp image. We go ahead to the second important part of this digital X-ray machine. Wait a moment, sorry. Sorry, maybe the network is not so stable. Sorry, wait a moment. because they find it's so big, so maybe it has some. Okay, let's go ahead. So we go ahead to the second important part is the X-ray tube. It's the X-ray tube. We cooperate with Canon. You know, Canon X tube is very important, famous in worldwide. So for our company, we are the long terms and a big partner for Canon branch for providing spare parts in China. And let's we go ahead because you know this machine, it is a mounting function machine. So it could be used mounting function applications, which means it also need large and good parameters. Let's go ahead to see the firstly is the annual speed. We could have two parameters for your choice. One is 8,400 and another is 9,700 RPM, which could get the high speed for the dissipation. And the second, it is the anode heat capacity. We also could get the last 300 kilowatt, and also the heat capacity is two choice: 1,250 kilowatt or 1,300. All about large parameters, which could guarantee the machines working long terms. Also, you know, for these large parameters of this X-ray tube, which could guarantee the long terms of the X-ray tube, long-term life of the X-ray tube. So we call it is reliable. Second, we go ahead. It is the sharp image. Sharp image, you see, over this X machine is equipped with dynamic flat panel detector, and it is large 17 by 17 inch dynamic flat panel detector. So also it no need the second exposure. Also, it could provide the wider field of vision of the different big parts of the human bodies only one time, no need with the second exposure, so it could reduce the radiation dose for the patients or doctors. Second, we see the big parameters for the dynamic fluoroscopy acquisition. The frame rate could be reached 30 FPS. We know if the dynamic X-ray machine we call the real dynamic X-ray machines or the fluoroscopy machines, so needs these parameters more than 24 FPS. That's called the real dynamic machine. So for our machine, we have the large 30 FPS, which means we could get the very smooth and frequency of the dynamic occurrences, the image, so which could the sharper image. Besides about the important main parts, the good parameters, we also could see over the flexible movements of this machine. You could see for this the flexible movements and over the floor mounting types. Let's go ahead to see the video of the movements. Firstly, is the fixed table. Also, the X-ray tube columns could be lifted up and down. It is 1,300 millimeters, and we could see the transverse of the X-ray tube. We have two choices for the two different tables. One is could reach the 1,500 and another is 2,500 millimeters. Thus we see the X-ray tube could rotate with along the columns with 330 degrees, which means this movement could be used for the different position of patients, including the including the patients who is not inconvenient to move. So maybe it used could be standing, be sitting or lying. So also for the lifting table, this motion it could be used for 6 direction. Also, we could see the table surface also is very flexible to move the left and right. Also for the transverse movements. And we have to see for the big points of this table design, the lower distance for our fixed table, it is up to 500 millimeters from the floor to the table surface. So it is very convenient for the patients to climb to the table. Let's go ahead to the practice designs. I think many customers already thought over the conventional static X machine before. So the big difference it is the LCD touch screen. For this new launch, this model, we have the large size, 10.4 centimeters for this LCD touch screen. We could see many parameters such as we could see inspection, seat sections, also could be see the picture display, and also we could choose exposure parameters, table rotating angle, also SID parameters on this intelligent design LCD touch screen. So which means the doctors don't need to move to other sites. They could adjust the parameters and see the pictures besides to the patients, which is very convenient. Let's we go ahead to another design for the clinic practice. We just mentioned it is the lower of the ground. And over the Pakistan, the lower distance from the floor to the Pakistan could be reached to 350 millimeters. So which means could making it easy to achieve integrated radiography from the head to the ankle for the different paths. Let's we go ahead to another practice application. We have for this machine we just mentioned. It is a high-end configuration. So one is we have the imaging stitching features. So which means could be displayed all the spikes or lower levers of the human bodies. So which is allows doctors to obtain the important for all operative diagnosis. Also, the big difference compared to the conventional static X machine, it is the intelligent design of our X-ray tube and detector could be automatic trunking, which means the machines and this automatic trunking could be allows fast and accurate operations to improve the doctors and improves doctors working efficiency. And another it is the equipment is sorry. We also equipped the fully automatic electric collimator. So this is designed could be automatic adjust according to the different body posture. So it also with this higher intelligent design also could improve the inspection efficiency. Besides that, we also have the high-end configuration with the double double grid. It is flexible, high-density grid, which could reduce radiation dose, such as for the sensitive patients, we could be removed the grid, so it could reduce the dose for the patients. Besides, you see, we equipped the two different sizes of grids, which could get sharper images. And also, we have other two standard configurations for these cost-effective models. One is the DAP device, and the second is the AEC device. We know the DAP device, which means they monitor the dose values. So you could see the dose values could be displayed on our workstation and after exposure. So which means it could reduce the dose for the patients. The doctors could control the dose for every exposure. The second is the AEC device. We also could check and adjust set besides the exposure. You see, many hospitals receive large of numbers of patients. So for our this standard device, which could receiving large more and more patients, which also could increasing the doctor's working efficiency. Okay, so about is just the second part for the advantage of our this new launch digital motion X-ray machine. Then we go ahead next part. Why choose our this digital motion X-ray? We just summarize the very big points. We call it is super cost effective. We just summarize. Firstly, it is stable. It's the high quality X-ray generator, so it is the high quality X-ray tube, which means we could reduce the maintenance cost, long-term spare parts supplier, also the high quality of the X-ray. The second, it is sharp image. We have the large 30 frequency per second, and the large size dynamic flat panel detector, so we could get the sharper image and a very fast, smooth frequency of the dynamic occurrences image. So also it could be improved and also get the correct diagnosis image. This third part, it is the flexible. You just see, we have the very flexible movements, and for the fixed table, we have the 4 direction and large size, the movement size. Also for the lifting table, we have the lawyers distant from the floor to table surface. So it is also very convenient for the patients, the positions, the setting, and the first part is the user-friendly design, and we have the many device standards compared to other brands, where the standard device but not optional, including the AEC, DAP, imaging stitching for the last spy or lawyer liberal imaging and stitching, and also the tube tracking automatic with the Pakistan. So for all about important spare parts, we have the big points, the parameters, and the standard device. So we call it could get the sharper cost effective. Let's see many other applications, and the pictures show the device standard. Then we see, and today I know many value customers in this meeting are they from the end users and doctors in some hospitals in Asian market. So we also see for the hospitals, why our machines could get the higher ROI for the hospitals, because you just buy one digital motion X-ray machine, then it equals to one digital X-ray and also one digital fluoroscopy, which means you only buy one digital motion X-ray with very cost-effective but high-end configurations. You could use for all imaging departments well, including orthopedics and pulmonology, also general enterology, also urology, so different departments. Also, this dynamic range also could let the doctors observe the relations one by one during the vision the dynamic images. Besides, over these machines we just mentioned, the XID could be adjusted to last 1.8 meters. So this is suitable for the large size chest radiography. Don't need require the patient to hold their breath. And also this static image could be obtained from the dynamic fluoroscopy. And the big difference compared to the dynamic, the digital motion X-ray compared to static X-ray machine, which also can directly observe the bones movements. So we could say maybe the big points for the hospitals maybe concept. It is the purchase cost and the long-term return investing. We just take an example. If one hospital buys this digital motion X-ray machines, we could take different applications, such as in morning, we could take for some parts of angiography, and then the afternoon we could use the machine to do the radiography. So, which means that if you buy this digital motion X-ray machines, we could get the quickly return the investment. So, which means it is versatility that pays off. Okay, so about is just the brief presentation for our this new launched models, including the description and advantage. Also, we also explained why this machine could bring high ROI for one hospitals. I think some of them stand here. May you have some questions about our these machines. So no worry. And for the last part, me and my colleague, Miss Betty, would answer your question. So let's move to the last part. Okay, so before we answer your question, because we just received many questions from the different doctors, I just summarized 2 questions from the many customers, because the 2 questions was received from the mostly customers. So firstly, is one question is I just received from one customers in Philippines. He just asked me, what's the difference between our this static X-ray and our the new launch digital motion X-ray? Okay, so let's explain. Compared to our static X-ray, this machine with dynamic image, so can observe motion of anatomic structure, can provide more information from the static image, also observe the dynamic change of the organ's function. So we can comprehensive and effective evaluate the patient's condition or recovery. So that's the difference compared to the static X-ray. I just the second question from the Thailand customers. And what's the difference between our this digital motion X-ray and the DRF system? Our company also has a DRF system, right? So the difference is a big difference is, for our DRF system, it has a diagnostic table with the tube could be tightened. Also for the table surface could be rotated with large degrees. And also the PF system has a compressor. So the big difference it is for this digital X-ray machine couldn't do the gastrointestinal angiography. If for your hospital you would like to do the more applications such as gastrointestinal angiography, then you could choose our DF system. Okay, so this is the two questions I just received from the some class. Okay, so this is my colleague, Miss Melody.
Hello, everyone.
We can answer your question here.
So I think from the above introduction, no matter in the first part in showroom or here from Benny's introduction, just the PowerPoint to show you our new products, and then you may have some questions. So we just answered you in the by the written message, and here we will have 3 questions for you because for today we will finish for this meeting to 10 minutes. So let's see if you have any questions regarding to the above. Yeah, you can raise your hand. Then we will check to answer the question. Okay. Yes. Maybe see that. Let me see. How about tuition? Is the tuition? Tuition is here. Okay. Right now, all of you can. Okay. We will open for all of you to be speak freely, and so that we can make some free discussion. Any questions? Like the.
Okay, so now you said you can speak and we can hear you now.
The tuition is here.
Hello.
Yes. If you have no questions regarding to today's presentation, maybe I think that is for all for today. Okay, let's see. Here have some questions like Mr. Luke. Mr. Luke, automatic for after sales service, right? For our after sales service and training and installation setup here in Philippines. Okay. So I see that for these 2 questions, actually you are mentioned about our after sales service, how we manage it. And before the COVID outbreak, we can send our engineer to go to the local site for the installation and the training. And now, as you know, that it's not so easy for us to send our engineer to go outside. So what we do instead is we have our engineer team, and who can speak English, and we are trying to find our local representatives who have your own engineer team, and some of you are the engineer, like the engineer Eric, right? And then we can give the training by online method like this. And just yesterday, our engineer finished the online global training for our UMDR. So thanks, Eric. So that is the way that we treat to solve the local installation and service. We will give the training, and then you will be our local representative with your engineer team and to do the installation and training. And instead, we will give the online instruction and the user's manual, instruction manual, the detailed videos, and also our engineer, after giving you the training, our engineer will also support you online. So that is the way right now we are doing. I hope I already answered for your questions. Salute. Thank you. I think maybe you can open the voice and we just because in the previous 15 minutes, just we are speaking and output the things to your side. So right now, maybe it's your turn to give some opinions from your side. For example, did you meet such dynamic DR X-ray machine in your market or to the hospital? You ever saw such kind of machine in the hospital? Engineer Eric, you can speak right now. Are there any problem for you to open the voice? Because here we already asked the release to all of you to open the microphone. Okay. So let's see if you have any other question. Just now, okay. Okay, I know. So for your coming installation, actually, just like I mentioned before, and you just send the confirmation of the service and then check about the pre-installation requirements that we ask you. Then we can set the engineer group and with our engineer with you and even with some technicians from the hospitals. So in that case, we can communicate online and to get you how to do the installation. There will be no problem for that. Okay, thank you, Luke. And for today, to make a short summary for today's meeting, we thank you so much for today's meeting, and especially in the first part, maybe for my colleague, Mr. Lawrence, due to our showroom is very big, so there is some echo when he is introducing. He is pity, and later we'll send you some clear videos to show you for our X-ray machines in the showroom instead of introducing and you cannot hear it clearly. So let's see, Eric still have some other question. And what kind of stories like to provide tools waiting for promotion? I mean you mean for PMS, and actually that's why we want to find some local engineer team, because yeah, for PMS I haven't heard about it, because sometimes the hospital they will ask for 3 year or 5 year to your company to make the premises for the maintenance. And we will not, I think we will not provide for some local tools to do the detect, but you will have such tools and the kits, and then we will give the guidance. Yeah. If you want to buy like the multimeter, I think we can supply for you, or we recommend for you for the supplier instead of you to buy from local or for the tools, for the testing tools. Okay, so Mr. Luke have another question. So what's your question? Maybe you can just test just right here. Okay. And here I saw another question from Champa Medical. Just how to do the installation in the Philippines, right? Because some of you today is our customer, no matter for the end user or for the distributor, you are coming from the Philippines. Actually, in the Philippines, as I just mentioned, we are trying to find some distributor who have the local engineer service, and we will sign a third-party service contract. And then for any future installation with your engineer team, we do the installation. Actually, due to the COVID situation, it's not so easier for us to go for overseas business trip. So when it's available, you send our engineer from Plug to your site. And that is what we do before 2019. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Yeah, sure, of course. We will send the PowerPoint and the promotion materials, like the pictures, like the product video, even for some clinical videos, and also for our brochure, the data sheet, and others that we can provide to you. And just to connect with our sales manager directly, and we will send you by email or by WeTransport. Okay.
Okay, so thanks a lot for my colleague Miss Melody, and thanks for value customers. Due to the time limited, so we couldn't reply all your questions one by one. But it is no worry. You can write down your question if you have and send it to me or to our colleagues. We will reply to you after meeting one by one. Besides we also could send our colleagues could send the PowerPoint file and the record video for just about the presentation about our machines. And regarding to the, I believe, and I also hoped regarding to our about the presentation about our company and our high-end machines in our showroom and our presentation for our new launched models, and hoped you could find the suitable solution for X machines in hospital, because for our company we are the comprehensive manufacturing for providing the complete one-stop solution for the extra machine or imaging equipments. So anyway, you could contact me or my colleagues. Anyway, so that is about it's just all the presentations details for our today's meeting. And we just say it is not only one-time presentation for our company. Every month we have one or two presentations for our high-end models and our new launched models. So I have to say, on the 25th, we also have one presentation for our high-end flat panel CR machines. That machines is mainly used for the interventional surgery, also for the DSA function. I believe some of this value customer also received the invitation letter from our colleagues. Also for all customers, if you are interested, please contact with our colleagues for the meeting ID for the next presentation. Thanks very much for all value customers. This is our director, Mr. Candice.
Okay, and lastly, firstly, thank you very much for your time this afternoon. And I want to say that very sorry for today's echoes in our showroom. So we will upgrade our devices. And I hope next time we can give you an excellent show. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your time, and we can keep in touch.
Yes, thank you. So we will see our next presentation. It is it's 21st. The high-end flat panel CR machine, and for that coming presentation, we will operate over this flat panel CR machine in our cabbage room, so you could see our clinic usage for this flat panel CR machine. See you next time our presentation. Thanks for everybody. Thanks for all value customers. See you. Take care. Have a nice day. Bye bye.